All right, all right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Latoya Tarpey, and I'm the founder of Uniquely Rooted Ministries. And I just want to welcome you all here, where we're all unique but rooted in the same God and faith. So that is Uniquely Rooted Ministries. This is our first event. And I just want you to feel welcome this evening. This is a women's ministry, and tonight we're going to talk about the subject of dating. If you want to find out more about Uniquely Rooted Ministries, you can visit us here on Facebook at Uniquely Rooted. Again, I want to welcome you to our first event through Uniquely Rooted Ministries, and we have a treat for you. So if you're a single lady or, just single, ready to mingle, looking for that husband or waiting for that husband to find you, we're going to chat tonight. This is our first Friday night event, kind of like a ladies' night. So I want to invite you to chit chat with us this evening. Single ladies, has Corona put a damper in your dating life? I know everybody was up, probably just running around looking good, dating, got apps, we've got all these. I guess something new would be the speed dating, and then we went into quarantine. So we're going to talk about how this coronavirus has put a damper in the dating scene. And tonight we have a special guest, the lovely April, well, Apostle April. She's an interracial dating coach and author of What Your Mama Didn't Tell You About Dating. And she's here to just drop a few nuggets of wisdom for us about dating, and especially during coronavirus. So we'll open the floor for questions later. We're going to let April tell us about herself. So just kick back, relax, and enjoy the chats. So let's have a good time in the name of Jesus, right? So I'm just going to jump right in and just kind of pass this baton over to April for a few minutes and let her introduce herself and tell us her background, her experience as a dating coach, and just how you got into it. So April, come.
Hello, ladies. Hello, hello. Well, first of all, Latoya, thank you for being my friend and thank you for inviting me to come and share what bit of knowledge I do have about dating. Thank you so much. She said, tell you a little bit about myself and how I got here. Well, I am a fairly mature lady, and and I have a daughter who is 33 years old, and I have been single for over 30 years. And a few years ago, I was riding down the street talking to one of my friends on the phone. And before I realized what I was doing, I was having this little tantrum all in her ear. And I was telling her, I am tired of doing stuff alone. I'm tired of having to knock all the doors down for myself. I am tired of um, eating in this car because I was working and I would eat in the car instead of go in, not even to McDonald's. And I was like, I'm just tired of doing it all by myself. And I wasn't talking like this, mind you. I was screaming in her ear. Okay. And so I decided when I calmed down, because she didn't even say anything, she probably was doing like this.
Mm-hmm.
I decided when I calmed down that I was going to do something about being single because I had been single my daughter's, I can't say her entire life, but I had been single for over 30 years. And
Mm.
for those of you who are concerned about Christian dating, XYZ, you might wonder, what gives you the authority, as they say in the Bible, to do this or to say this? Well, not only have I been single for over 30 years, I've also been celibate for over 30 years. So don't get it twisted. When I became single, when I got divorced, I was in my 20s. So don't get it twisted. Yes, my hormones were still kicking high like yours. So after that, since I made that decision, the next thing that came to my mind was, you know what? Dating has made a 180-degree turn without you. You need to catch up. So you need to go and study and learn about how dating is done today. Now, this was before Corona, okay? So what I did was, yes, I began to study. I began to look at YouTube videos. I began to read books. And then And some of you want to know, how did I become an interracial dating coach? I had this bad habit that turned out to be kind of good, I guess. And I would go places, and let's say I pull up to the McDonald's drive-through, and then, everywhere you go, if they got good customer service, the one thing they all do is they say, is there anything else? Or can I get you something else? Well, I have this bad habit of saying, sure, 6'2", 205, light skin and curly hair. So I obviously said that the wrong time, but anyway, I was in my house one day, and those of us who are spirit filled, there are times when you hear things and you hear them audibly. So I was in my house one day. I don't remember what I was doing, but I remember for some reason I just said out loud, 6'2", 205, light skin and curly hair. And I heard this audible voice say, that's a white boy, right? I was like, I guess maybe that is. And so I had dated a white guy in the past, so that wasn't no big issue. But after that, it became very loud to me that I was actually interested in, let's put it like this, non-black guys. Okay. Now, don't get it twisted, because yes, I was married to a guy from Ghana. And so as I began to grow and read, I started reading and learning a lot of things about interracial marriage, meeting some people who were not just married to Caucasian guys, but they were married to guys from other countries. And so I began to learn a lot of stuff. And with that knowledge, along with just basic dating knowledge, I learned so much stuff. And then I was like, oh, wow. What if my sisters knew some of the stuff that I know? They would stop some of the things that are going through their mind and things that they are not doing, because they could actually have the man of their dreams, regardless to their age, their size, or their skin color. And I need to be sharing this. So then I began to study how I could share it. And I learned about that. Now there's a big, I don't want to say trend, but there's a big growth in being coaches of some type. So I learned how to be a dating coach. And I learned a whole lot of things about online business. And in December, I got my dating coach certification. So I am actually a certified dating coach.
All right.
And so that is how I went from nobody to doing this.
Well, April, we've been talking about in the study on Wednesday nights, rooted in the word Wednesday. If you're interested, you can check the link in the Uniquely Rooted events box. So, yes, we've been talking about singleness and how women of God that are leading that single life, they're living the single life. How we shouldn't be conforming to the ways of the world and its customs, and just sticking to Romans 12:2 in the study. So with what you were saying, and I know when you were speaking, the Lord just kind of spoke to me. So how do we, as women of color, how do we go about dropping that I guess it would be that rooted mindset of, we have to date or marry a man that's the same race as us. I mean, as long as he loves the Lord, or what my former pastor used to say, Jesus and a job, then it doesn't matter, what color he is. As long as he's a God-fearing man, and he can provide for his family, then what's wrong with dating outside the box, And a lot of women of color may be open to it now, but for a while it may have been rooted in us we have to stick to the same race, or it's not good to. So how did, I mean, I know what you were saying, that just kind of spoke to me when you were saying that. So how can we encourage for us godly women to seek that man, or invite that man of God that's after us, no matter what color he is? We
Really?
are out on the shelf, we're walking as children of light, and men can sense that. So how do we drop that guard to be open to other races?
One of the things, and I'm going to seriously speak to you from the point of a Black woman that was like this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing you want to do is you need to open your mind to the fact that in the scriptures, people were reprimanded because of the way that they taught, they dealt with people of other races. Now, I have a tendency to get my people wrong, but wasn't it Miriam, Moses' sister, that got in trouble and got leprosy because she was complaining about his wife?
Mm.
She got in trouble. You know, God wants us to be with people. He wants us to have unity, and definitely not this division that's going on right now with the political and the corona and all this other mess. He wants us to be unified. Some of the things that I have found is that a lot of women have a lot of myths going around in their head, and a lot of them are still stuck with maybe daddy said, "Don't you bring a white boy home." But there are many benefits to it as well. So you first have to make a decision whether you're going to open your mind, because I remember this was said to me a few weeks ago, and I tried not to laugh in the girl's face. You you can't have thoughts like they can't understand me the way a black man can, because here's the deal: the black men don't understand us either.
I was
Okay,
just about to say that.
they just as confused. And then watch this: you don't understand you either.
Yeah.
Okay. um you can't be thinking, well, they stuff is probably this color. It ain't the same color of a black man's. My thing is this: it shoots bullets.
Mm.
Okay. Y- and and I'll just be honest, dating interracially is not for a wimp. Okay, because you still have to deal with other people outside and their attitudes. But do you want to have happiness, or do you want to still be going through on the struggle bus in your
Mm-hmm.
head and doing without stuff?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you
Well,
you open your mind, you smile at the guys from other cultures. They have a specific way of flirting or not flirting, and you kind of have to know what it is
mm-hmm.
and start a conversation with them. Give them a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Just be friendly.
So women are approaching men nowadays. Is that is that what we're seeing?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely approaching men. I call it drop the hanky.
Okay. Dropping the
See,
hand.
when you look over at the book of Ruth, if you pay attention to what's going on, Boaz did not make a move until Ruth made the real bold move. Remember? Her
Mm-hmm.
mother-in-law sent her over there and said, "Go over there
To
and
his
get
feet.
down by his feet and just be
Mm-hmm.
still."
Mm-hmm.
That's when he made a move. Now, if you read back through it, you can tell he was checking.
Yeah.
He was checking early on because
Notice.
he was,
Yeah.
yeah, he was inviting her to come over and sit at the table. He done
Taking
told them to
food
go ahead
home.
and make sure they leave stuff for her. Yeah,
Uh-huh. Taking that food home to her mom and being that gentleman.
he was checking.
Yeah.
And you talk about being the gentleman. Even when she came and sat at his feet that night,
He
he
was a
was still a
gentleman.
gentleman. He wanted to
Mm-hmm.
make. He stepped over into his protection mode.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this too. If you adventure out into other cultures, here's two big benefits. One is that your pool of choices will increase tremendously.
Oh yeah.
And here is something that you will hear white girls say about dating black guys that we can find that works also. And that is this: that they treat us different.
Mm.
Yes.
I heard a yes from somebody.
You heard again from Toya's mother.
Uh-oh.
See, they treat us different. And here's the thing, ladies, listen real good right here. Listen real good. Get all your distractions out the way. You know them things that you want that with black guys you may tend to not say? These guys are, and please don't think that I'm trying to bash the black men, because see, there's some black men out there that are on point, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when you venture outside your culture, even I'm sure, Toya, you can agree with this too, because your husband is not American, okay?
Right. Right.
These guys are listening to see what it is you want, to see what kind of things you talk about that make you happy, because that's where their head is, to make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go out of the country? Girl, you better speak up.
Mm.
You want, look, let me just, oh, I forgot anybody could be watching this, right? Okay. But anyway, I want a purple diamond for my engagement ring. Don't think dude ain't gonna know what he's supposed to be getting, okay? Because I ain't ashamed to say it. And that's one of the things about just dating in general. You have got to have that confidence to say what you desire, what you need, what is going to keep you happy in a relationship. Because see,
In the
that's
beginning.
kind of, say it again.
In the beginning.
Yes, ma'am, in the
Speak
beginning.
up.
Set those standards. Because see, that's how you get the things that you want and what you need. And he needs
Mm-hmm.
to know what it is going to take, not only to get you, but to keep you and keep you happy in the
Mm-hmm.
relationship.
Well, hold that thought, April, because we're gonna backtrack a little bit on ourselves. So we're ready. If a woman is ready to start dating, and there could be some issues with, and we're gonna get to coronavirus, how we're supposed to do this in this quarantine. But what about the women that have found negative experiences in dating? Maybe you're attracting a guy, but after a few weeks, a month or so, I mean, you just start. He's not available. He's not calling. We feel that we're just attracting the wrong type of guy.
Okay,
What about that
go
woman?
back. I'm gonna go back a little further than where you started right there with that question. All of you ladies that's listening, all of you ladies that's listening, I want you to grab a pen and a piece of paper. I want to take you through a quick exercise, because this is where I feel that you need to start. Once you make a decision that you want to be dating, this is where I feel like you need to start. I'm going to talk a little bit, give y'all time to get your pen and paper, because a lot of us, especially my age group, we've been through a lot of things. And like you said, it's been a lot of negative, but a lot of times we want guys to change.
Mm-hmm.
But what we really need to do is do the inner work.
Yes.
The inner work. We need to work on us, because see, if you change, then the other person will change. So y'all got y'all pen and paper? Okay. I think you need to start with this. It's called forgiveness.
Mm.
Now, see, y'all have heard people preach and teach about forgiveness all in the church. We're going to talk about it when it comes to dating. Ladies, I need you to take your pen and paper, and I would like you to write down the first name of every man who has ever hurt you. I'm going to get a little more specific on your list. If your daddy has hurt you in any way, because I went through that myself, your brother, your cousin, your cousin's cousin, your girlfriend's boyfriend or her brother, if they have said negative things to you, that hurt. If they have played tricks on you that were not nice, if they have come at you wrong and talked about you bad, ex-husbands, ex-boyfriends, your aunt's husband, ex-husband. Because the thing is, if they hurt your aunt, they hurt you too. Write down the first name of any man that has ever hurt you. See, I went through a thing that stuck in my mind for years, because my dad had promised me a car when I was 16. He promised me a car. I never got it. My daughter come along and she needed a car, and I didn't even know that he and my sister were out shopping for my daughter a car, because he was going to pay for it. And he gave her a car. But you know when I finally got my car? When he went to Glory and I got the money for the house we sold, I was able to buy me a car.
Mm.
So I had to let all of that go. Okay. So what I'm telling you is you need to forgive. And you need to forgive all of these guys. Because what's happening is what I'm telling you to do is to clean out your pipes. Clean out your hose pipe. It's like a hose pipe that's got mud in it. The water might come through a little bit. But if you really clean it out, you forgive,
Mm-hmm.
then you can function better and you can function freer.
Mm-hmm.
So, ladies, you have your list there. So say this with me. Father God, in the name of Jesus,
Father God, in the name of Jesus,
I thank you for being my father. And I ask you to help me to release and forgive. And if we were in a class, I give you time to say every name on there.
Mm-hmm.
So later on, go back and do this again and say every name on there. You might even need to add some names.
Mm-hmm.
And then you need to say, I forgive them for the things they did to me. One more step in this little exercise. I need you to forgive yourself because relationships, friendships, they're not a one man game.
Mm-hmm.
They're a two-way street. They're two people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you need to forgive yourself. Because see, I know that my divorce was not just caused by my ex-husband. So you might as well admit the same thing. So you need to forgive yourself for your part in whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to have a clear conscience so you can get out there and maneuver. Because if a guy asks you something about your past or whatever, somebody you're getting serious with, you
Mm-hmm.
want to be confident and cool because you've forgiven.
Yeah.
And you can stand there and say, I'm ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of these guys are king and they can ask you some questions and you be like, huh, where did you get that from? I never said anything or exposed that. But see, that's another thing. Guys, we think that we have some antennas. These guys got some perception that's out of this world. Don't let them fool you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let them fool you. And they can pick up on when you're not happy. They can pick up on it. You go around smiling. But if you ain't happy, he'll know. If he your
Mm-hmm.
man, he'll know.
Mm-hmm. So, April, is it safe to say that, it's good? I love this exercise that you're having us do. But is it safe to say that, if your relationships if you don't know how to have close relationships with friends and family, how can you have that relationship with someone that's going to be even closer, which is your spouse? So
I think
letting things go. Yeah.
I think that's a real good point. And that's where a lot of us might need to go and work on our soft skills.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us might need to even learn what love really is.
Mm-hmm.
And so those type things will help us move through. Something that can help somebody who is starting out in dating is to go and get yourself a mentor. That would be a woman or a couple, a married lady who can help you through some things.
Yeah.
Because if they're your mentor, then they really see you up close as well.
Mm-hmm.
But also a married lady that's got a good marriage, then that will help you to see inside of a good marriage.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my issues when I was younger. I remember I was dating a guy, actually got engaged to him, but when I thought about it, I was like, wow, his mom and daddy are divorced. His mama's divorced. My mom and dad's a divorce. And I was like, what we had it for? And I realized that I had never seen inside a good marriage. I've
Mm-hmm.
got some relatives that have been married for years, but I've never seen inside their marriage. I've not been there, when they have arguments or,
Mm-hmm.
when something serious was going on, or even when exciting things were happening. So I never
Mm-hmm.
saw inside a good marriage or
Mm-hmm.
learn about what love really should be like, other than just You can read through the word, but you can miss out what's supposed to be coming to you
Mm-hmm.
in the word too if you're not really
Oh yeah.
paying attention.
And as you know, somebody that's been in a marriage before, what April is saying is get with someone who's in a good marriage, but not a perfect marriage. You want
Yeah.
to have that mentor that's been through some things, that can, a seasoned uh, follower of Jesus in a marriage, because it's a difference when you got someone that you're following, somebody that's married and they've never been through anything. But get with those couples that have endured, different crises and different things have gone on, but they still made their marriage work. That, to me, is a good marriage, that you can have that love for one another through anything. So I did want to throw that out there. You do want to
Yes.
seek that mentor, but look for a mentor that is a good partner, is a good spouse, that, is not going to just be gone at the drop of a hat. So you definitely want to seek that mentor. I definitely agree with you, April. And on this note, since we're talking about working on ourselves, how important is it for us for our single sisters to have that relationship with the Lord? I mean, you have to have that time. And we talked about this also on Wednesday. I'm sure you can touch on this. But it's not good for us to have a shallow relationship with God. We need to have that real relationship with Jesus while we're walking as single women, waiting for that spouse, waiting for that man of God to spot us. So, or if we decide to drop that hanky. So can you talk about that a little bit, how important that aspect is? Because how can we forgive, if we don't even know what forgiveness is, if we haven't identified what real forgiveness is through Jesus? So can you touch on that?
Because of my relationship with God, it has helped me to not only just be able to be patient and wait, but when you're communicating with men, married or single, when you got a relationship with God and he'll drop a nugget in your head for you to, that it'd be something going on you didn't know about, or you could be talking to him and you know how sometimes you just say stuff didn't go through your head, you just say stuff. He will have you say the right thing at the right time and you didn't think about it, you didn't plan it. Something could be going on with your man and you be thinking, oh, work, and it has nothing to do with work. But if God would drop it in your head, drop it down there for you, it is just so important to have a relationship with God. Another thing too, when you have a strong relationship with God and he is guiding you, you will allow him to tell you when to go right, when to go left. You will be like, was it Paul? You'll be like, you'll know when to stay out of that city or stay away
Mm-hmm.
from that person. Or how about this? Don't go into that restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Or stay away from that man.
Watch it now. And I'm gonna tell you, I really did not know how to communicate with men. Oh God, no, not at all. But as I grew in learning more things about dating and about communicating with men, now I can drop, I can drop a line and I think about it,
Mm-hmm.
and it just opens them up. You know, I do a lot of online dating because we got Corona going on,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in the house a lot and I'm working a lot too. So it it has helped me to be able to say things. A lot of ladies are worried about how they open up a conversation. And it has
Mm-hmm.
allowed me to say things that I wouldn't normally say, but it really gets the guy's attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I have even shared some things in some of my videos that some of my married sisters have contacted me and said, girl, that video you did. I remember I did one when I found out some of the things that were going on with people in their relationships that related to Corona. I did a video and I was telling the ladies, y'all got these men, because I was jealous too. I was like, y'all got these husbands, and these husbands is out there going to work. If they're not going to work, they're the ones out there going getting y'all finding toilet paper. They going, they are the ones, they are going out there where the disease is to get things to make you happy, and you and the kids are at home. Y'all better appreciate them, man. Y'all better Jesus. One of my girlfriends called me. She said, girl, I watched that video, and when you got off, I jumped and ran to my husband. I was like, okay. But look, I wouldn't have even thought about that, because at that time I wasn't dating anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized that, I was like, these men out here working hard.
Mm.
And what another thing that came to my mind was, there was two young men that would come and do things for me sometime. And one of them was out shopping one day, and he called me. He said, do I need to bring you some toilet paper? Back when we was having fun with the toilet paper. And he did. He showed up with a whole lot of toilet paper. And then there was another young man, I forgot what he did for me. He went and did something and brought me something, because they would, and I was like, oh, now y'all better appreciate them. Because I'm like, these ain't even my men. They ain't even my sons.
Mm.
So that connection with God can help you so much. So much.
Mm-hmm.
It'll help you stay in control of them hormones too.
The emotions.
Watch it now. And see, some of us seem to think that we cannot be in control of those dating hormones, or the hormones that make us desire the opposite sex.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't.
Yeah. You got to stay, just close to Jesus and ask him for strength. Like I was saying, I mean, singleness is not easy. We have these desires, and we're naturally given them. I mean, sexual desire is a natural feeling. I mean, we're supposed to have that, but just it's supposed to be sacred between a man and a woman in a marriage. So just, we have to seek God for that strength and pray for him to send us our spouse. Just be patient and enjoy life. And so while we're patient now, 2020, we had a rough year. The dating scene is all online. I'm sure that someone here wants to know, what's the best app? What's the best website to date during Corona? Yeah. Because I'm sure that April.
The best one is the one that you're getting good results on.
Okay.
So I only suggest ones that I have been on that I actually like and have gotten good results. To my surprise, well, I don't know, you guys may not realize that Facebook has a dating app. You can get on the Facebook dating app, and you can be totally separate from your Facebook stuff. Okay. Mm-hmm. They started this, we were in 2021, 2029. I think they started it in September, maybe not September. They started it, I think, in 2019, somewhere close to the end of the year, somewhere maybe in the fourth quarter of the year. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I got on it, and a lot of sites I'll get on them just to test them out, so that I'll have something to share with other people and for my coaching and stuff. So I got on there, and it's free. Mm-hmm. And I was like, didn't find anything on there really interesting to me. Because, well, for one thing, my age range is from 50 to 65. And I was like, y'all ain't sending me nothing. And so I would be on and off and on and off. But I don't know what in the world happened, but something in this world happened. Thanksgiving 2020. The Monday after Thanksgiving, the guys that they started sending me on the Facebook app exploded. I started getting like 10 or more people. They were in the right age range. They looked good. Their profiles look good. And I was like,
The profiles look good, hopefully. There wasn't a
well, that's one of the things I teach in my course too, is how to look at the profiles and kind of screen them there. Mm-hmm. But Facebook dating app is doing very good for us mature girls right now. Mm-hmm. I'd use Match.
Match.com.
I really like Match because Match has a couple of things on it that other ones don't have. One of the things Match has is the boost. With the boost, you get a free one every month. And what they do is when you say you click on the thing that says boost, what it does is it takes your profile and shows it to as many people as possible, many guys as possible, within an hour. So it runs for an hour, just showing them your profile. And as it's running, if you keep checking on it, you'll see who viewed your profile.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's putting you in front of guys that you probably can't just click and find.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually end up with more than 10. Sometimes it's 17 or 18 guys had viewed my profile during
Mm-hmm.
that 1 hour. And so I just follow. If they don't send me a message, I'll follow up and send them one. Hey, I see that must be your James Bond pose you got going on there. I said that to one guy and he was cracking up. I was like, it wasn't that funny. But okay. I've used eHarmony. If you're going to do eHarmony, you need to prepare yourself to have some time because you have this questionnaire to fill out. That questionnaire might take you 15, 20 minutes to fill out. It also, once you get that done, when they start suggesting guys to you, you can actually look at how they answered the questions and you can compare it. And you can use that as an opener for conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It says that you and I both scored this on this particular part of it. So let's test it out and see if we're compatible. I don't know, however you want to do that. See, match. Okay. For interracial dating, I've checked out interracialdatingcentral.com. One of my first mentors used to be, she might still be, but she used to be a coach for them, for
Mm-hmm.
Interracial Dating Central. And she even writes about them in her book. And one of the things about, some people call them boutique sites or specialty sites, is that the boutique and the specialty sites typically work with something specific. So this is with interracial dating. And I like this because it not only tells their age, it tells their race. On Facebook, it may or may not even tell you that, but it tells their race because they don't have to, but they select that. And here's a good one. It tells you what type of lady they're looking for. So if they're looking for African American women, they will put that on there. So that way you don't have to waste your time.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you are blonde and blue-eyed. Okay. So
Okay.
um
So we
that
got
one,
match.com. Okay, said match.com, eHarmony. And what's the last one? Interracial Center.
interracialdatingcentral.com
Okay.
and Facebook.
And Facebook. So
Mhm.
those are some websites she's throwing out. But she did make a statement in the beginning, make a point that what the best one is what works for you, what is successful
Yes.
for you. So with the online dating trend, how do you weed through the fake profiles or the pictures? I mean, the profile pictures. I mean, I guess you just have to is FaceTiming safe? I mean, once you meet someone online, is it safe to FaceTime? Would you recommend that?
I have found it to be safe, but I also teach you to do several other things to keep your personal information safe. That's the thing about the online dating. So if you're going to do online dating, for communications, you want to make yourself a separate email that is not your regular email. You want to also get a separate phone number, like a Google Voice. Then there's apps where you can get a phone number that's totally separate, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that way, because the guys are going to ask you for your email and they're going to ask you for your phone number. So if you get one of the other phone numbers, it'll ring to your phone, but they don't have your personal one. And so here's the deal. In my mind, your personal phone number is attached to your address and stuff, because when you went and got your phone, You gave them your address, right? But if you have a Google Voice, it's not attached to that. And those apps, they're not attached to that. And you have a totally separate email. So those are some things that can really help you. Now, when you look at the profile, pay attention, ladies. Pay attention. When you see a profile that says the dude is 3 foot something, you might want to go the other way because I have seen something like that. When you see a profile, I teach about a 2-hour class on scammers and how to identify stuff like this. When you see a profile and the profile says that the guy is Caucasian and the picture's a black guy, I hope that rings a bell.
I hope so too.
If you see a picture of a guy standing in the graveyard, yes, I've seen that too. Please bypass it. Don't even try to figure it out.
So if it's not looking right, keep moving.
Okay. Just some other little tips that will really help you out is I would shy away from guys that say they're engineers or they do offshore drilling. They have anything to do with offshore and stuff. Okay. Because 9 times out of 10, you are probably not going to get them on a video chat. And getting them on a video chat is a test to see if the person is for real or not. Because scammers hide behind the chatting, or even if you have if you do like WhatsApp or oh God, I just went blank. WhatsApp or Telegram or oh darn, I just went blank on the other one. I can't think of the other one right now. It'll come to me one day. But those apps where you can actually chat and you can text and do video chat. The one thing you want to do after you text them back and forth for a while is you want it to go to where it is a virtual way you can actually see them. If he don't come on there to be seen,
Then
no, it's time to find your best friend, one of your best friends. One of them is called block. So you can block them.
Okay.
So there's just several different things that you want to pay attention to, but I would definitely steer clear of engineers. I would steer clear of military people. The reason I'm telling you this is because those are the type of photos that they tend to steal and make fake profiles of.
Okay. It's good to know. Okay. Well, April's given us a lot of information here. We got some websites. We have some things to look out for on the websites. Just some wisdom on interracial dating. We should drop our guards as long as he's got Jesus and a job, right? Let's be open to dating. And so with this pandemic going on, I'm sure people were doing online dating before the pandemic, but this is really, tightened up on some outside dating. So she's given us some information on how we can tighten up with our online game, right, ladies? And I keep saying our, I'm just speaking for the single lady, my single counterparts. But yes, so does anybody have any questions? If you're on this Zoom link, you can put your questions in the chat box and we'll go ahead to some open discussion here. Let me open the chat box. If you have some specific questions, you can send them to either April or I or me, and we can go ahead and ask those questions. If you're on Facebook Live and you've got some questions, go ahead and type that question in the comments, and we'll be glad to answer your questions. But yes, so I have a question for you, April. So we talked about the online thing. So if people are willing to go out, you got your mask on. I'm just trying to figure out, how are you going to tell what the other person looks like? I mean, where are the people going? Where's everybody going? Where you have to have on a mask? Because you can't see. You got to get a fashionable mask, I guess.
make your eyes smile, okay? But other than that, you just
You're gonna
or
have to
look,
wing it.
back up your 6 feet and then take it out. I you just gonna have to wing that. You really will, because but then again, there's a lot of places where people are not wearing their masks. Like when you go out to eat, people are, it's very interesting to me how they want you to come in with a mask on, but once you get in, you can take it off to eat. That's interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I would just wing it, wing it. You might
Winging
have
it.
to just exchange information until you can do the virtual so you can see what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
there's a lot of people who are doing a lot of dating.
mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised. They're seriously out dating, um, even though Corona's here. So if you would like, I can share with you how you can have some safe dates with
Mm-hmm.
Corona here.
Okay. Sounds good. Anybody?
Some things that people are doing is like they will uh, get in their cars, go get something to eat, and then they pull their cars up beside each other like cops. You know how the cops do.
Mm.
And they'll sit there and eat and chat with each other.
Well, that's a safe way.
They also go to the park. And maybe if they have dogs, they'll walk their dogs. But even if they don't, they go to the park. They got their masks on, and they'll still walk and stuff. Some things that people do that are online, because when you're doing online, a lot of times that could just be simply a long distance relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been telling people, oh, here we go. You can have
I have a
dinner
question
together.
for
You can have dinner together. And this is what I suggest. Get you a tripod, a small one. They got some that are real small, but get you a tripod. Y'all can even go in your city. You go to your favorite restaurant, he go to his favorite restaurant, or y'all could go to the same restaurant just in your city and
Mm-hmm.
sit there and have your little phone in the little thingy.
And date.
Thank you. Talk to each other. And please, by all means, please do this. Please get you an earbud. Because I was at a restaurant one time and the chick wasn't dating. She was talking to somebody. Everybody in the restaurant, she was a sister. Everybody in the restaurant could hear her talking. Okay. We could hear the person on the phone too.
Oh no.
What they said. Please.
Get an earbud.
Another good thing, because I don't want you to just get you a little tripod and spend money just one time. Another thing you can do is you can actually cook dinner together. So maybe you want to teach him some of your favorite dishes. Or maybe he's from another country, he wants you to learn how to fix something. And so
Mm-hmm.
again, you can have your tripod sitting there with your phone on it. You can hear each other talking to each other. You at your house, him at his house, and he's telling you how to do the ingredients and stuff.
Mm. So this
People,
is still through FaceTime or
yes.
okay, okay. I,
Um, there's on Netflix, that Netflix has a deal where you can have a whole group of people watching the same movie.
yeah, I saw that.
Well, another thing with that you can do is if you have Zoom, see you can play something on your computer, screen share.
Yeah. So there's lots of ways. Any
Mhm.
type of social media platform, I guess.
Yeah.
FaceTime. The car date sounds really nice too. You just pull up in your cars, especially if you don't know them. It's first date. You don't have to call your friends and have them hiding around the corner.
But
You can
look,
just
you can
pull
also
off.
do the car thing and watch a movie together.
Hmm.
Cause you
Or
can
just, yeah,
you have
that's
a
a good
movie on your
idea.
iPad. He can have a movie on his iPad, or you can do a YouTube movie. YouTube's got all kinds of movies on there.
Yeah,
But you can be right there across from each other, talking to each other.
yeah. So here's some wonderful ideas for dating during Corona. I think I heard someone, if you have a question, you can come off mute. I don't think I have it set up where you have to be on mute. Does someone have a question?
I did have a question. I actually typed it in on Facebook. I'm not sure if you could see it,
Okay.
but I'll go ahead and ask it. After forgiving the men who hurt you and doing the exercise of forgiving yourself, what's the action plan? What's the strategy? In 3 steps, what do we do next? Because we've already forgiven someone else. We've forgiven ourselves. We're ready. We're willing. We praised up. In an action plan, what's the next step?
The next step would be for you to actually talk to God and share with him what's really in your heart that you really want in a man. Not and please don't just say he needs to be 6'2". You want to put in there things like, well, at my age, one of my criteria is I would prefer to have a man who does not have children on the what I want to say child support payroll. I would prefer to have a man who does not smoke, and I'd really prefer one who does not drink.
Mm-hmm.
How do you want to feel when you're with your man? What kind of things do you want to do with him? Because see, I want to do a South American tour. Okay, fine, you want to have a house. Then is there something specific you want in your house? Is there a specific chandelier? Do you like high ceilings? Do you want a big wedding, a small wedding? Do you want it to be a certain color? Okay, fine, you want the dude to make a certain amount of money, but would it be nice to have him be a person that works in your same industry?
So
Go
being
deeper than
specific.
just surface things and talk to God. Because see, when you know what you want, you're clear on what you want, then watch God show you where you need to be to connect with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be the next step, to connect.
So to be realistic about what you want, and then the next step would be
Connect.
finding, going out to search and connect.
Oh, we ain't going out to search. We're going out to connect. You're going out to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
What you're doing is you're coming out of the shadows. You're coming out of the house. Okay? Remember, Ruth had to leave from, I forgot where they were, where she and Naomi and the other daughter-in-law was.
Moab.
Okay, and they had to go to her home country.
They went back with Naomi. Mm-hmm.
Right. Remember Esther. Esther was in Susa. In order to be seen by the king, she had to go and hang out at the palace.
Mm-hmm.
So when you know exactly what it is that you want, then I want you to start thinking, because God is going to show you things. You start thinking about where this type of guy can be. I like guys who have an entrepreneurial mindset, because I am tempted to step off a cliff and try something in my business in a minute. I need somebody to understand me. Where I'm going to find a man with an entrepreneurial mindset? He may be a businessman, so he might be out at a steakhouse. You might like a guy that's more athletic. Where would you find him at? If you were here in this area, if they were having Preds games, that might be where. Or I like tennis, so MTSU has a tennis team. Go to tennis. Once you are clear on the type of man that you like, then you need to let God show you where that type of guy could be. And that's something that I actually talk about in depth in my book.
What Your Mama Didn't Tell You About Dating is the name of her book. And you guys should connect. She's an author, you're an author. But April's got lots of wisdom on what your mama didn't tell you. What didn't you tell us, Dot? But yes, thank you for sharing. Any other questions? So it is important for us as women to have that relationship with God and have that strong prayer life, especially if you're single and you are, you desire to be married, you want to talk to God about your husband. You won't start praying. He knows what you want. He already knows, but he wants us to come to him. So just start praying about what you want. Be specific, like April said. And then you have got to get off the shelf. That was wonderful advice to me 14, 15 years ago, was get off the shelf and be seen. And so ladies, we got to get off the shelf, put on your best face, put on your best outfit, be you, be confident, and be seen. And drop that hanky. And let our Boaz do the rest, right?
That's it. That's it.
Our
I want
task
to
is easy.
I want to really, really reinforce this in your head. Reinforce this in your head. We as Black women have a lot of ideas about what men don't like. I did say we have ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a tendency to hide the things that we think men don't like. Why? Because of what Toya said before, some things that we were brought up with. And I know one of those reasons is because we've had men to complain about certain things about us. I have a girlfriend, she is wonderful. She is hourglass all the way. She dresses impeccable. I did not know, because when I met her, she was slim and looked awesome. She used to be nice and plump like myself. She said when she was plump, the guys complained about her. When she lost weight, they still complained about her. Said she was too skinny.
Mm-hmm.
The girl smart, she makes buku dollars. Okay? You can have the man of your dreams, regardless to your age, your size. I'm gonna back up to the age because I met a couple that got married after they were 80. Your age, your size, or your skin color. A lot of us are really concerned about we too dark. One of the things that I have found is that when you venture out into other cultures, the things that you want to hide. For instance, I don't know if y'all can see, but I got moles going and coming. And I used to hide behind those until I learned this fact. When you venture out into other cultures, these guys appreciate those things that other guys have complained to you about. You can have the man of your dreams if you just come on out the shadows, get out there, smile. There's a few other things that we have going on with us as African American women, and I really, really talk about them in my book.
Mm-hmm.
That if you would let them go, make a tweak in yourself, you'll start receiving and drawing what you want. But you can have the man of your dreams, regardless to what you're trying to hide behind.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if you bald. Let somebody show you how to put your makeup on. You go out there and get whatever you need, whatever you want.
And that's a very important thing. Confidence. Because I mean, like April said, what was going on, men will complain either way. Okay, you're too chunky, you're too thin. If they're not interested, then guess what? You're never going to be right. So you have to be the best you and be confident in your own skin and be yourself. Be yourself, but be who God made you. You
There you
know,
go.
He made everyone unique. He made everyone different. There's I mean, it's always somebody more beautiful. I can tell you that right now. So don't try to just tear yourself down trying to be all of that, because you can be the best you, and that man that's for you is going to see that. He's going to know what he's got, and he's going to appreciate it. And we do need to be our best us. So we have to take care of ourselves and want to feel good in our skin, want to be the best version of you can be. And that man is going to see that. And more importantly, I'll say this, and I say this every Wednesday, the world sees light. The world sees light. And if you have your ducks in a row and you got the light of Christ in you, and that light is glowing, anybody's going, even non-followers, the darkness will see the light. So you're going to be attractive in your own way. Just be the best you that you can be. your personality. You know, God made us the way he wants us to look. So don't go trying to change anything for anybody. Just be the best version of you that you can be, and have that light of Jesus in you. And that man that he sends is going to see that through a whole crowd of women. He's going to see you. So I just want to encourage you with that. I mean, while April was saying that, I mean, God just dropped that in my spirit. So just to encourage somebody tonight.
You know what? Now, girls, y'all can't fool me. I'm a little old here. But I know some of us have been through a few changes, and we might feel like that we've been conned by a few guys, especially in our younger years. But I understand you guys have been studying about not being like the world.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to sleep with no man.
Right.
Like Toya was saying, early in the relationship, you set the standards. Okay? Let them know you ain't gonna sleep with them. Just let them know. If he can't hang, then he need to run on out the door. That's just plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because I was trying to be nice with this young girl on Facebook, and I was like, I ain't even gonna waste my time. There are things that go on in your body with your hormones, even with you just being around a man, that will make you do all kinds of stuff. It'll make you act like you on cocaine.
Mm.
I teach about that in class, but there are certain hormones that you have that when you're around men and when you let that guard down, it just makes you act crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But girls, let them know in the beginning, we ain't having no bed action it ain't till you put a ring on it, baby. It's until I got papers on you.
Mm.
Okay? Tell Beyonce to go sit down.
Mm.
Because she be getting a lot of us in trouble. It's until you got papers on them. And y'all done went before whoever y'all got to go before.
Mm-hmm.
Let him know. No, we're not going there. There are many, many, many Christians out here who have waited.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Interracial marriages, non-interracial marriages. The girl done told him, you ain't touching these rubies. They belong to God until you get all of your homework done, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I first started studying and stuff, one of my favorite couples, if you look for them on YouTube, they're Swirling in Las Vegas is the name of their YouTube, Swirling in Las Vegas. And there's one video where he tells about how she told him, no, 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 no. He said, yeah, it was hard too. But I made it. I was like, you made it.
And you know, on the men's end, you know, when they have worked, you know, you get to know each other on all levels. You know, he's waiting patient. You're waiting patient, especially if you've been on that road before. You know, it's not easy to not have something you've enjoyed before. So both of you all are waiting. He's working hard. So what a treat, what a prize he feels he's got on that wedding night.
Okay.
And in 2021, us even talking about waiting till you marry is just flip flop, because that's not the world's way. But we're not conforming to the world. When you give your life to Jesus and you're serving him, you're serving that manual. And we know what the manual said. We know what that handbook, the Bible said. And God gives these instructions for a reason. We just don't pay any attention to it. We're just out doing what the world wants. But if you keep his instructions and live by them, I'm telling you, you will be blessed. And that man, I mean, who wants something they can have just on the first day?
Okay.
What value will he see? But it gives you a chance during that dating time. And nobody says that dating has to be years. You know, like she said, don't let Beyonce fool you and he has to put a ring on. The ring can stay on there for 10 years. But the paperwork is what matters. And people, when you're dating, when you are courting, who says you don't have to wait some years? That time that most people are busy sleeping with each other, people are getting to know each other, dating. talking, arguing, seeing how that person acts when you get mad. You know, that's where that time should be spent. So, yes, you're hearing it here in 2021. People are waiting till they get married to have sex. And it is a
I
gift.
I explained to a guy, well, the guy that I'm talking to now, I told him, I was like, no. And I could tell he really didn't understand. So being who I am in the Lord, I just felt like I had to break it down to him. I was like, look, dude, this is another, and let me tell y'all, this is a side note. Online dating will help you say and do things that you wouldn't do in the face of them.
Mm-hmm.
This is something I probably would not have said to anybody. But this is what I told him. I said, look, that is something that could cause the little bit of anointing that I have to lift.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not living without that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, whoa. I was like, oh, no, no, no. That's one thing you ain't taking away from me,
Mm-hmm.
causing me to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that is a possibility. But and I'm thinking about how crazy would I be if I did not have the anointing to keep my sanity together, especially while we in Corona. And don't nobody come to visit me, but every once in a while. Well, I'm really by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm gonna throw this in, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna be very, very transparent because I don't want anybody on here to think that I'm an apostle, that I've been in ministry, and that I am a good little girl and been one all my life. I'm gonna tell y'all. One of the 500 reasons, which is very far at the top of the list as to why I am divorced, is because we didn't start out right. Okay? Now, y'all concerned about who gonna approach who first and all of that. Oh, please, that's a piece of cake. But me, Miss Grown Woman, gonna be all cool, calm, and collected in her 20s and gonna say, well, don't y'all fall off your chairs. Make sure y'all sit on something firm. Well, we already been sleeping together. Why don't we get married? That's one of the reasons why I'm divorced today. Because it was all backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go down the road some of us older sisters have been down. Don't go down those roads because the same potholes are still waiting to suck you up.
They are. They are. Thank you for that wisdom. Thank you for that wisdom. Anybody else have any questions? This is some real talk here. Anybody else have any questions? You can come off mute. Feel free to come off mute and ask your questions. Oh, there were some comments in the Facebook page, April. We've been asked to do a follow-up, maybe on marriage, or dig a little bit deeper in here. But yes, we will come back. There were some comments made here to come back with a part 2 and a follow-up. So we will come back with a follow-up to this, maybe for marriage, who knows. But yes, this is Dating in Corona. Anybody else have any questions while we have April here? April, we do want you to talk about your book. How can we get the book? And anything else you want to close with this evening if we have no more questions?
But before I talk about the book, I want everybody on here to know that I actually have a free gift for you. I appreciate you allowing me to come. I appreciate you coming and asking questions. And I have a little ebook for you. And the title of it is What Men Secretly Desire in Their Special Lady. And you probably would like to know what the link is to get to it. So let's see if I can do it without blowing up my whole computer here. Let me put some glasses on too. I'm getting younger by the minute.
And while we're waiting for April to pull up that link, Just a reminder, if you're here listening, we do have a women's online Bible study. You can visit Uniquely Rooted on Facebook here for the link every Wednesday. It's a Zoom meeting. It's rooted in the word Wednesdays. We meet every Wednesday, 7 p.m. This series is on biblical femininity, how women we're not conforming to the world and its customs, but we are walking as light in this dark world, and just constantly renewing our minds. So if you want to tune in, we invite you. Again, the link is here on Facebook, on Uniquely Rooted in the events, or in the, it's in the information box. So you can link to that Bible study every Wednesday. And we see Miss April has her link here for your free gifts for joining us tonight. And also she's got, I think it was where you could have an autographed copy of the book and save some cash on her book if you're interested. And I'll send that information to you if you want to get her book. But yes, we do have, we had a good time tonight. Thank you so much, April, for coming. Any other questions before we let her go? Well, she's given us lots of wisdom. I hope you were able to write down. Oh, someone put Plenty of Fish. That's another website on
Plenty of
Facebook.
fish. Plenty of fish
Plenty of
does work
Fish.
for some people.
Woo. Is that a Christian site?
Be careful on that.
Oh, well.
Be careful
have a
on that. I've
question.
not been brave enough for it yet.
Oh, okay. Okay, there's another question.
So what homework would you assign us? Since we've heard all of this good advice, what can you send us off with that we need to work on?
I would say work on yourself. Work on those things that you may have been hiding behind. You know, some ladies, because see, I work with ladies that are business owners and stuff like that, you know, more professional, and they have a bit of a challenge, but I call them leading ladies. So if you are a leading lady, work on yourself. Work on how you talk. Work on sentences that you might say, and think about, you know, is this harsh? Am I talking with attitude? Work on smiling more. If you are out and you happen not to have a mask on, make sure you're smiling. You know, we have a reputation of being
Hard looking.
thank you. And they call it the if young people clued me in, they call it the what I talk about in my book. The resting bee face.
Oh,
Y'all
the
know what the B
resting.
stands
Okay.
for.
Oh,
The resting
wow.
bee face. But work on yourself.
April, some of us just have that, and I know I do this. Whatever I'm thinking, I'm not going to say it, but my face is going to show it. So maybe that's it, or is it something different?
Sometimes that's it, but it's also a lot of us are busy. We're leading ladies. We're busy. We're focused.
Okay.
And we have a very focused look that we
Yeah.
just don't break. And even in conversation, because I know I used to have it bad, even in conversation, it doesn't break.
So we need to smile.
We need to smile. You need to let your whole face smile. But not only that, if you let your heart smile and just be happy.
Mm-hmm. And that's coming from deep within.
Yes.
So
yes.
whatever you're feeling, you know, if you're in a good place and you're happy and at peace, then that's going to show.
Yeah.
Naturally.
And you know what? If you just got a copy of my book, you would it takes you through a lot of things, a lot of thought patterns, a lot of things that people have told you yesterday, yesteryear. It would definitely help you out in whatever your age is. Those are some things that I would say, and especially those things that you're hiding from, you're hiding behind. You know, I don't have an hourglass. I'm big at the bottom, I'm little at the top. I'm big at the top, I'm little at the bottom. I'm big on both ends. I'm too dark. I got this scar. Girl, I'm 60 years old, been in a car wreck, got all these scars on my arm, walking with a walker, and still got a boyfriend at 60. Yeah, snatched my first one at 60. One after being single for 30 years.
Yeah.
But what I had to do was I had to change me and my attitude and the way I looked and the way I showed up,
Mm-hmm.
because I would not have recognized that the guy was interested in me. I would have just ignored everything he was saying.
Mm-hmm. And it's just being happy. I
Yeah,
think that's kind of just what it boils down to.
yeah.
Because whatever whatever, and this is an important point too. We didn't get into this tonight. Maybe we'll get into it next time. But you are, what you give off is what you're going to attract. If you're giving off somebody that's negative, or you're going to attract that. And then we're mad because he's so negative and we fight all the time. But if be what you want, be what you want to attract. And we should be in a good, happy place. When you're in a happy place, that shows up, that shows out in your face and your attitude, the way you're walking. But when we're in a sad place or a bad place, that kind of comes out. Nobody will approach us. So it's all about being happy. And the best thing that I can say here tonight is start walking. Walking is a stress reliever. It gives us time to think. Just start moving. But walking is the easiest thing that we can do, is just take a walk. I've experienced this couple weeks. I burned my foot really bad and I haven't been able to walk. And I'm really feeling that. And I was determined yesterday to get some tennis shoes on and walk. And I just felt so much better. So just taking a walk every day. And that's gonna knock a lot of birds with one stone. It's gonna help the weight. It's gonna help blood pressure. If you got blood pressure problems, it's gonna keep off stress. And it just gives you that time. Talk to God. Look up in the sky and just talk to God when you're walking. There's your prayer time. So just taking a walk, being in that good head space, and working on yourself. This is a time, the single life is a time to work on yourself. Have that relationship with God, build that relationship with God. And then he'll send you who he wants you to be with. You start praying, be specific, like April said, specific what you want.
Yep.
And dig deeper than just looks. And God will, I'm telling you, he will show up. He will definitely show up. So April, I'm gonna let April close us this evening. We really appreciate you coming on, April. Those that joined in on Facebook, I hope you were blessed by this. Ladies that are joining us tonight on Zoom, thank you for coming by. And I hope you were blessed by this. And I just pray that you all have a wonderful week. I'm gonna turn it to April, let her close us tonight.
Thank you so much. Again, thank you for inviting me. Thank you, ladies, for coming, not only coming, but participating as well. You can find me on Facebook at Apostle April Coffee. You can find me on Facebook at Let's Talk Boaz, Dating Wisdom for Leading Ladies. That is a Facebook group. Soon you'll be able to find me on Facebook at Authentic Love. You can find me on LinkedIn as well as Apostle April. And I expect you ladies to really blossom in your dating. If there's anybody on here that's married, I'm pretty sure that I hope you got some nuggets anyway. But this has been an honor. It has been a pleasure. If you guys need some more questions answered, you are welcome to contact me. Coming back to do a part 2 sounds like fun.
We will. We definitely will.
So I'm not sure that, let me look at my notes and see if there was anything else that was really pertinent that I needed to. No, not really. I just wanted to say to you guys that soon I will be opening up a new program that I have, and it's going to be Authentic Love Academy. And this is where I'm going to take some ladies who want to grow in dating and possibly even have their beau, or shall I say their Boaz, by the end of 2021. I'm going to take them through several steps and help them to prepare themselves and be able to connect with guys of their liking. And it's about a 3-month deal. And one of the perks that's going to come with this is there's going to be a prayer group. There's going to be a prayer group along with a lot of other things. I'll help you with things that you might be doing that are preventing you from connecting, such I call them toxic dating habits. We'll help you do a lot of things that is going to help you with your confidence and